The woman tearfully wrote a suicide note to the man. Then, she packed up all her clothes, took one last look at the photo with the man, and decisively left the home they had shared for 7 years. The man, who was unaware, was still holding a bouquet of flowers, waiting for his first love to return from abroad. When he brought his first love back home, he was shocked to find that the woman was no longer there. It was then that he realized something was wrong. He immediately rushed upstairs to look for her, but all he found was an empty room. It wasn't until the servant handed him the woman's letter that he felt a sharp pain in his chest. But under the mockery of his first love, he immediately thought this was just the woman's way of trying to keep him. He tore up the suicide note, but he would never know that this action would haunt him for the rest of his life. For 7 years, the man never showed the woman any affection. Whenever he came home drunk, he would get angry the moment he saw her face, because he always remembered that it was the woman who drove his first love away. Even though the woman tried everything to please him, he still blamed her for his first love's departure. What he didn't know was, if it weren't for the woman stepping in back then, his family's company would have been inherited by his first love. At that moment, the man learned from his sister and mother that his first love had tried to take advantage of his heart condition and marry him to transfer the family wealth. If it weren't for the woman stepping in at the time and marrying him, the family would have gone bankrupt. The woman had sacrificed her own happiness to ensure the safety of his family, because she had fallen in love with him long ago. She had grown up in an orphanage, and in her darkest moments, when she wanted to die, it was his sudden appearance that saved her. He had praised her drawings as beautiful, and the woman, thrilled for being recognized for the first time, felt so happy. From that moment, the man became a light in her life. So even though he had never loved her, she still stayed by his side. They had once lived an ordinary married life. But there was a time when the woman completely ignored the man's feelings. She was always out socializing, and when he saw her come home reeking of alcohol, he thought she had changed. Slowly, the man returned to his old ways, shouting at her with little conversation, even harshly speaking to her, knowing she had no parents. What he didn't know was that during that time, the woman was neglecting her health in an effort to save his family's company from going bankrupt. But even in the face of the man's lack of understanding, the woman never told him the full truth, because she loved him more than she loved herself. The truth was that the man had heart disease since childhood, and his condition had worsened over the years. She didn't want to tell him about his first love or the company matters, fearing it would upset him. Everything she did was to ensure he lived a safe and long life. However, on their 7th wedding anniversary, the doctor informed her that the man's heart was nearing its limit. If a suitable donor couldn't be found soon, he was in danger. In an instant, the woman was struck by a devastating blow. To ensure the man could stay with her forever, she signed an organ donation form, deciding to give her life for his. When she got home, she cried bitterly, but when the man returned, she wiped away her tears and tried to make their last anniversary together, only to be pushed away harshly. He then told her she had driven his first love away. The woman was stunned. She thought that after all these years, he had long moved on. At that moment, the man tore up their only photo together and walked out of the house without looking back. The woman knew their marriage was over, so she took all their memories and returned to the first home they shared. She threw